We'd like to welcome to Art in the Year Spotlight, Olga Petryszyn. She's got a renovation project coming up for those of you people in Porter County, Brincka Cross Gardens. And there's a lot of things to talk about that, and we're going to have her talk a little about the history of it, but also what the renovation project is going to be and the opportunity for volunteers to help out. Olga, welcome to Art in the Year Spotlight.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's such a beautiful day to be here. Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, it's really interesting because this actually marks the 20th anniversary from the time the Porter County Parks Department purchased this particular piece of property. To give you a little background, it was originally owned, well, not originally, but it was owned by Bill Brincka and Basil Cross, both who lived in Chicago when they bought the property, an old farmhouse, and decided to build their own home and make up these gardens. Now, they were my best friends for many, many, many years. Bill Brincka was a professor at the Art Institute of Chicago, and that's how I met him when I was doing my studies there. Fast forward, over many years, we worked together on the gardens and the house, the planting, the weeding, the caring, etc. And when they had passed away, I was put charge selling the property to the best use for whoever could use this property. And understand that this property it's nestled in a serene area of Furnaceville, which is an old community between Chesterton and Michigan City. And it has an extraordinary collection of rare specimens, and each one was chosen for its rarity and beauty. Bill Brincka was by trade a sculptor. And so his garden is filled with what I would call garden rooms. Each passage goes into a different vista and different type of planting. So it was really calling for the right use. And to me, it had to be public use because people would visit them all the time to experience the beauty. So 20 years ago, Porter County Parks did purchase the property, and it was on about 20 acres. And since then, they've acquired more land. And so it's about 60 or 70 acres with a lot of surrounding woodland tucked away. But unfortunately, over the years, the property was let go because basically they didn't have the funds, the right people in charge, whatever. And it just imploded with vines and horrible things. So a year ago, I was called in and asked if I would spearhead the rehabilitation, let's say, of the gardens. And I was appointed chair of the Brincka Cross Gardens Foundation. So here I am today. I feel like I'm coming full circle. I am a real estate broker. That's why I was able to sell this property to the Parks Department. And they've called me back to see what can be done. And so I'm almost 1 year into it, and we've collected hundreds of volunteers. I'm working on a website right now. We're going to have various events. A pavilion is going to be built this spring for people to enjoy. We want people to come and picnic, do their photographs. There's lovely trails about 1.5 miles long to walk, to see the floral and fauna. You can bring your dog as long as it's on a leash. We want to have weddings, so we're working on the house. It's just an extraordinary experiences. The sights, the smells, the restoration is just perfect for the public. As we know, the population is growing. We need more public spaces that can be enjoyed. And I certainly hope it continues. And so we're looking for volunteers and funds, of course.
So what are the state of the gardens? You were mentioning vines and all of that. Has that been, since you've taken over, is there a schedule of cleanup and restoration?
So it's very difficult to schedule because what I would do every week is look at the weather report and pick a Saturday or Sunday that looked good in the future. And honestly, all I do is email the people on my list, text them, and go on Facebook and say, this is the day from 10 to 12, we're going to go out here, and this is what we're working on. And I only use 2 hours because I don't want to exhaust everybody. We have cleared out so many bittersweet vines, grapevines, bamboo, poison ivy even. I mean, just gobs and gobs of things, dead branches and trees. So it continues.
It does. I wanted to mention, like 2012, you were Society of Innovator for your hybrid of the hosta. Are you still, and you've done over like 20 varieties, I think. Are you still doing that?
I am interesting because I learned how to hybridize from Bill Brincka and started hybridizing in 1986. And since then have become internationally known for my hosta hybrids. I don't really know how many I have, maybe 40. I lose count. It's not important to me.
Yeah.
But I do continue to do that, and I do intend to be able to teach others how to
Good.
hybridize on this property.
You're still doing lilies or just the hostas?
No, just the hostas. Deer liked the lilies too much. It was too frustrating, so I stopped doing that.
That's true. It's like ambrosia for them.
Well,
Yes.
real quickly, we're in our last few moments here. Olga, how can people get in touch with you if they want to volunteer and become part of this project?
Well, you can do two things. You can text me at 219-405-5683, or you can email me. It's a long email, but I will respond. It's my first name, Olga, Olga, and my last name, Petryszyn, spelled Petrysyn @gmail.com.
Well, we thank you for coming on Art in the Air Spotlight and sharing about wonderful projects that you're involved with. Hopefully you get some more volunteers.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you so much.
We look forward to hearing from you.
Art on the Air Spotlight and the complete one-hour program on Lakeshore Public Media is brought to you by McCauley Real Estate in Valparaiso, Olga Petryszyn, Senior Broker.